Good morning, everybody. My name is John. I'm a weapon of mass instruction, and so far I'm happy to report that I have not been able to see any signs of martial law being declared in all of Chicago. Of course, we've got all the reports of Rahm Emanuel's preparations for the Nato protests. And by the way, today is May 21st, 2012. It just turned the 21st, just after midnight here in Eastern Standard Time land. I've been hearing conflicting reports left and right all night. Wasn't able to get any sort of updates on the whole thing while I was at work, but the Spetsnaz didn't land at the range, which is good news altogether. I did see chemtrails for the first time in a week there. So that's something. Let's see. What have I been hearing about? CNN has reported a little bit of protester-initiated violence, but it also displayed footage of cops beating protesters with their billy club thingamajigs. And I'm sure everybody's already seen plenty of footage of that. In case you're living in Iraq, that's basically what I'm just reporting. The Chicago Tribune, written on their website, had a timeline leading through the whole day, and from that I got a lot of stories of protester-initiated violence. A lot of cops are just doing their job and defending, and then there was a little bit of freaking cops starting some stuff, but for the most part they're saying that it was mostly protester-initiated. We also had a bunch of veterans who threw their medals into the street. Okay. Sorry about that. I heard a noise. Apparently it's the dog. Apparently some veterans threw the medals into the street. I say good for you. If I was over in Chicago, I might have done the same thing. Actually, I don't even know if I have any of my medals still, but honestly, they were like mostly gimme medals. I got them for going there. I showed up basically, and yay, hooray, you get some fucking chest candy. There you go. Not to belittle the achievements of the military, but nowadays they do hand out medals for silly little things, and then guys who actually do go through crazy shit in the line of duty, they end up not getting medals that they deserve. I had a freaking company commander that earned a Bronze Star apparently for getting us through a deployment where we saw no combat without a single casualty. Ooh. Dumb fuck. Anyway. Back to the protests. So basically what it comes down to is mainstream media is definitely not giving us the whole story. They're making it look like there weren't that many protesters and that the ones that were there were fucking lunatics. I did look at ANN, the anonymous news of the Netherlands website, and they reported several incidences of police-initiated violence. And I'm a little bit more inclined to believe that simply because the cops are people too. They're in a stressful situation. For the protesters, for the most part, I imagine it's a little bit less of a stressful situation than the cops. That's just from my perspective, having been in a foreign country where everybody was potentially an enemy. Sort of the same thing at a protest. Anybody could potentially present a deadly weapon. And what are you going to do in that split second? So for them, it was pretty much a stressful situation. Now, that's not an excuse by any means. But I do understand where they're coming from, how it's very easy for tensions to snap a little bit, and boom, there you go. But apparently, and I wasn't able to see from like CNN or any photos that I saw from any mass media, or mainstream media, I should say. of Anonymous being there, but I knew that they would show up with something this big. How could they not? And sure enough, there were actually a couple of people there with Guy Fawkes masks representing Anonymous. And again, I only saw that on the Anonymous webpage, but there was a picture there that showed protesters in Chicago with Guy Fawkes masks. So just some of the things that the mainstream media doesn't want us to see. They don't want us to think that the protest was that bad when there were thousands of people in their protest. CNN didn't report it, but apparently 45 people or more have been arrested for one thing or another. 5 have been arrested for terrorism or conspiracy to commit. And I'm not sure what to think on that. I know what the mainstream media wants me to think is that these guys are all in the wrong, and of course that's what they always want us to think. But pretty much here's what it comes down to: the cops, or the police, have these accounts of so and so said this, so and so said he was going to do this and do that, and plant a bomb and make a bomb, and he's got the bomb stuff in his house. And then they go and search this one guy's house who, apparently threatened to take his materials out of a hollowed out Harry Potter book. First off, now, I'm not exactly an explosives expert, but they stated that the explosives the guy had, quote unquote, were enough to blow up a highway overpass. All right. Now, first off, highway overpasses are fairly durable structures. Okay. And granted, Harry Potter books are fairly large. However, pause for effect, one of the most likely forms of explosives that he would be able to get his hands on would either be C4, homebrewed stuff, or TNT. And even a block that fits in a Harry Potter book would not be enough to blow up an overpass. Maybe if you placed it in a shaped charge just the right way with an overpressure shield, pretty much basically like making it so the blast directs inward into the material, then I can see it happening. But your average homegrown terrorist isn't going to know that. He's going to take a block of C4, maybe mold it into a ball or whatever shape, stick it onto something, and boom, watch it just blow up and scar the metal or material or whatever, and not really cause much damage. You need to shape that shit in order to really blow shit up. So, if he was going to have enough to blow up the bridge, unless he was already a demolitions expert or at least knew the basics of it, which, you really only get if you're in the military or police EOD teams, chances are he would have needed a lot more explosives to do that job. Anyway, so 5 arrested for terrorism. I personally don't think the charges were exactly where they should be. I think police jumped the gun a little bit on this one, especially considering that there were 3 that were charged who were connected together, who apparently were going to build Molotov cocktails. Now, one, it's ridiculously easy to build a Molotov cocktail. You don't even need the Anarchist Cookbook to figure this one out. You need 1, a bottle of high-proof liquor. All right. 2, a rag. 3, a source of fire. 3 ingredients. They're not especially hard to make. And apparently the cops found them in possession of equipment that they could use to make Molotov cocktails. You know what? They could stop me with my fucking lighter. That's not in my pocket right now, but if I had a lighter in my pocket, they could stop me and they'd be like, "What's this for? You making Molotov cocktails, huh?" And I could pull out my pack of cigarettes and be like, "Nope, I'm smoking." Yeah, I'm sorry, people at the range. I broke down. I bought a pack. My bad. And they could easily turn around and say, no, 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 I think that's just a cover up. You really do plan on blowing stuff up with that lighter. When apparently what the attorney of these three people has been saying is that they were found in possession of a brewery gear, basically, like some sort of equipment to make beer at home. Why not? If you can make cigarettes at home, why not make beer at home? Fuck it. I do know that, if you tried to make a Molotov cocktail out of beer, that'd be the shittiest Molotov ever. That's just my opinion. Unless you're trying to fucking, get the cops 3 sheets to the wind. I don't know. Again, still a shitty way to do it. All in all, better than I feared. And I can't complain, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. I believe the NATO summit is still going to be going on partway into tomorrow. I'm about to go to bed. I'm not sure if the solar eclipse has already passed by, but if there's any sort of satanic connection in all this, or Saturnalian, or Luciferian, or whatever you want to call it, i.e. the Bohemian Grove, where all these elites like to, I don't know, have their fucking naked party or some shit. Whatever. If they're gonna be performing a ritual, it would happen right about now. I heard some reports of the ritual involving the sacrifice of Chicago, as in a false flag terrorist attack, as well as the sacrifice of Denver, which that doesn't make too much sense to me, but it would be pretty sensational if they did do that. Plenty of reason for the sheep to fucking blindly follow along in another war on terror. But that remains to be seen. I do think it's worthy to report that a couple hours ago my daughter woke up from a nightmare and I sang her back to sleep. But first I asked her what the nightmare was about, and she didn't really want to talk about it. And I asked her and I pressured her a little bit, but she told me that she saw a lot of people at night. And then she saw a flash of light, and then all the people disappeared. It sounds like a nuclear explosion to me, or a dirty bomb. I'm really just hoping that she somehow picked up negative vibes from the whole thing, but who's to say? Just reporting what I saw and heard. Who knows what she really dreamed about? I just hope it wasn't. I hope it doesn't happen. But there is a corner of me that just can't wait for the fucking Illuminati to start this shit. Just set off this fucking party. They're gonna do it. It's just a matter of when. And if we keep on exposing the truth, I've heard it said, and I'll say it right here, it's a delaying game. We won't be able to stop them forever, but the more time that we gain for ourselves, like if we expose something going on at NATO, and then it doesn't happen, awesome. People can look at us and be like, wow, what a bunch of morons, and that's fine. But the Illuminati in the end doesn't do it because they know that we've exposed it to too many people. And if we were able to turn around and say how we were right, then people would start waking up to a lot of other stuff. So the more we scream about this shit that we're seeing and that we see likely to happen, the more we see it not happening, the more time we'll have to prepare for when they finally do it. Because this is not going to last forever. This too shall pass. The more time we have to prepare, the better off we'll be. The more people will wake up. The more people we'll have on our side when the shit hits the fan. The more people that will survive. And, we need a lot of people to be on our side. We really do. That's all I got for you right now. I'm going to go hit the rack. I'll wake up tomorrow with luck, by the grace of God, and I'll start another day at work. We'll see what happens. Again, my name is Joe, and I'm a weapon of mass instruction. Keep on searching. The truth is out there. Peace.